Welcome along. Episode 14 of Champagne Hooligans. Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. Boys, how are we?
Great.
I almost forgot my tagline there.
You did. You did.
Yeah. But you got there in the end.
I got there. Long-winded.
Yeah.
How are we, boys?
Not too bad.
Good.
Fantastic. I mean, if last week was good, I'm fantastic this week.
How was your football week, Brian?
It was particularly good, and I'll just
Oh my God! What a fucking loser!
I'd like to put on this hat and maybe just light these up here.
What does that say?
For those of you listening on the pod, this is the most pathetic showing.
Honestly, and he's going to claim something as well that is not even a done deal.
Brian has just lit a sparkler, and I hope the place goes on fire.
Well, I actually cannot believe that you went to the shop.
I was worried that the fire alarm would go off, so I did a test earlier just to make sure. Yeah. So pretty good week. Pretty good.
Oh no, Brian, you have to leave that hat on for the whole podcast.
Oh my God.
Full send, OKeeffe.
Yeah, something just lit in fire there for about 30 seconds as well.
Brian, I want to see that hat on.
So I'll leave the hat on.
Leave the hat on for
my football week.
Duration.
So on the 4th of October 2020, following a 7-2 smashing of Villa on Liverpool, Steve Lennon got pretty excited. He got very excited, in fact.
Give him his full title. Stephen Knee-Jerk.
The jerkiest of knees, Lennon. So you got you gonna say something, Steve?
Yeah, I am going to say something. I feel like this is a very long-winded lead-in to something that is not even actually resolved.
Well, so by the end of this podcast, it will be resolved because Arsenal are playing live right now and are winning.
Actually, I was just talking to Eddie Ed. He's watching the game in there. He's like, "Oh, Arsenal still have a chance getting Europe." I was like, "No, mate, no, they really don't. They really don't."
Angle. 4th of October 2020. It was actually surprisingly enough for a bet that has been talked about more than probably any bet, even the Newcastle £1 million bet that I've been involved in. It was the quickest bet from
Oh, excuse me.
Look, either way, Villa won't beat Chelsea next week. So the bet came in. Villa, jerky knee Steve comes in. Villa have a sneakily put together savage team. Surprise when they beat Liverpool 7-2. He goes on about all their shit players. Like, it's actually comical. I won't go through the list of shit players that he was like fucking shiting on about. So I just said that's a stretch, and Steve goes top half this year. And I go £100 ? And Steve sends the shaking hands. It was the quickest bet that has ever happened. Like, usually there'd be stipulations, we'd be shouting on about something, but like literally that was it. £100 ? Shake hands. Now it's since gone up to £200, of which I'll probably frame it, or in emergency break glass type of shit. But
and sorry, the hash. This is the reason you're wearing the celebration hat, is it? That was the sparkler, was it?
Yeah, the sparkler in the hat was for the £200. So I sunk about €5 off that £200 into hats and sparklers. But
I think it was a good investment. I actually thought it's a good investment.
So do I, James. Thank you.
Now you're just feeling quite as confident about the whole thing now with that Palace goal. Yeah, as you said yourself earlier offline, Arsenal just can't be trusted. And
Arsenal can't be trusted, but I think Chelsea can. Chelsea looking pretty good at the moment. I'm actually worried for my second team, City, in the Champions League final at the moment. But yeah, so
how do you have a second team?
My second team, the second team that I like.
You realize you're a grown up, yes?
Yeah, and Newcastle are his second team, so he's talking about his first team.
Oh well, that's not true. But I'd like at least I admit to supporting a second team. But yeah, so unbelievable week. 200 beans from Steve. Haven't changed my fantasy team in about a year. Still won that. There's 1 week to go, and I'm like 100 points in front. Newcastle, lost 4-3 to City. No big deal. They actually put up a good game and beat Sheffield United 1-0 tonight. Another St. Maximan fucking masterclass. So yeah, all in all, one of the best weeks of my life. Thanks, thank you.
That is honestly the most depressing thing.
I mean, taking money from my friends is always.
Yeah, actually, no. Okay, I would say the best week of your life, but taking money off mates, friends.
Yeah, do you like how the hat matches our Champagne Hooligans shirt as well?
Brian, I know you went. You went to a number of different shops in Spain.
I went to one.
To go find the perfect hat for the perfect rig out, and you look amazing.
In fact, I was very annoyed I couldn't get poppers or the thing that goes whoa, you blow into it. That's what I wanted, and the shop didn't have it, so I ended up getting sparklers. And honestly, there was a fire here when I lit the sparkler. I had, there literally was about that high of a flame coming off something else. But anyway,
Steve, would you care to respond?
What can he say?
Where to start? Well, I'll start off with Chelsea first, because Aston Villa just rile me up too much at the moment. So the less said, the better about that. But fuck me, Chelsea have been shafted every way to Sunday. The last week has been just a joke.
Oh no!
What are you talking about?
We obviously covered Arsenal beating us last week, and VAR fucked us over in there. Then we go to the FA Cup final. VAR fucks us there with that ridiculous offside call. Oh, no. Then we go to fucking Liverpool against West Brom. And I must say, I fucking hate Liverpool now as well. I didn't hate them as much, but...
Week, Liverpool got shafted last week, Steve. What happened?
Excuse me?
What happened? Go on.
You were shouting on about Liverpool being shafted.
Yeah, well, fucking hell. I had the text ready to go to all my Liverpool fans. You know, when you've got WhatsApp out and there's like 10 seconds left in the game and you've drafted the text to fucking fly out to all your Liverpool fans who are so annoying because every time they win, they'll text you. So I was like, brilliant. Get the champagne gif, the poppers, everything. Corner, fucking goalkeeper comes up, bangs one in. Before I've even had the chance to delete my drafted text, the texts come back the other way now from the fucking Liverpool fans. It's honestly the most annoying thing in the world. I went to bed at 9:00 on Sunday just to get out of that week and into the next week. It's never been more looking forward to a Monday. And then last night against Leicester, the revenge tour, WrestleMania revenge tour, and it looked like it was going south as well. Like Timo Werner he's
brilliant.
A disgrace. He's a disgrace.
He's brilliant.
Hang on. Who's back Timo Werner for top scorer next year?
I haven't yet, but I probably will.
Oh yeah.
Every time he's offside, he like is unbelievable at finishing. He's been offside about like 40 times, and like every time he just bangs it in the back of the net. And then as soon as he's onside, he can't tie his shoelaces. It's actually shocking. And it's a pity because he's such a nice guy, because he comes across so well in interviews and humble, but he's just crap at football. So I'd say he will be absolutely fucking toast at the end of the season.
That will be a clip in 12 months' time.
What do you think? Will you be placing that bet of him? For
I think so. I actually think he looks really good. He wins so many penalties as well. If Jorginho could ever fuck off, he'd be taking a few of them as well.
He took one this season and missed it.
Yeah,
so,
one.
I mean, he's just a man bereft of any sort. Like,
he's got no confidence.
It'll be back next season. He said it himself.
No, I think it's perfectly valid, like what you've said. Like, as in, like, he could well end up there. Do you know? Like, as in, I think Leno goes down on a ball with Zaha going in on it. Ooh-wee.
Very interesting, Sully. You keep us abreast of that, please.
I will say though that Chelsea looked phenomenal last night. They were fucking unbelievable. Like, but the best, like really, like I'm worried for City in the final. They look so good, Chelsea.
I think the fans make a big difference.
That game could have been 5-1.
Yeah, but that's the problem. That's been the problem all season with Chelsea, and it'll be the problem in the Champions League final as well.
Quick take, Lenny. Are you winning the Champions League final? We're going to have a Champions League preview anyway, but
we'll have a Champions League preview. I'd rather not make a decision on that. Obviously, I'm going to say yes, but I'll have some more research and science to back it up next week.
Well done on your pronunciation of research this week, though.
That's the hypothesis.
Yeah. So I will leave it at that. Then I'll just touch a little bit on Villa. I have to say, Villa are a fucking disgrace. It is absolutely shocking how much a team can fall off from the first half of the season to the second. Dean Smith should be hung out to dry, fucking literally in the middle of the fucking city centre, in the fucking whatever they're called.
Hung out to what?
Hung out to fucking whatever it's called.
Yeah, hung out to draw. Hung out to draw.
Throwing apples at him in the city centre.
How the turntables.
Mix. How the
yeah. And you know what? Stephen should have some respect, because we met Dean Smith and he was awfully nice to us. But
we did meet Dean Smith. Yeah, but I didn't know who he was. I literally think I asked him to take a picture of me with John Terry, who he's having dinner with.
Yeah. Dean Smith, fucking cracking at my jokes. I was like, Dean, when you come back to Sheffield Wednesday.
Obviously, full-on idiot. Shouldn't be managing.
Yeah. Go on, tell us that story, Fox.
Right. So there's nothing to tell, Sully.
We're playing. To be honest, actually, everyone's actually gone through that stage of like, well, not stage, but like, you know, when you see like a famous footballer or a famous actor and all that, you're kind of like, you're trying to play it cool, but you're not playing it cool because you make it so obvious. So obviously, Stephen and I were playing a bit of golf over in the UK. And we see John Terry, and like, you know, everyone literally just loses their shit. And honestly, it was
that
like,
true? Did OKeeffe lose his shit? Because I'm pretty sure OKeeffe was like,
OKeeffe, actually, to be honest, I forgot you were there. So that's
I forgot you were there as
well. Exactly, because I didn't suck off Dean Smith or John Terry.
I'm a big fan of Dean Smith, Wednesday centre half. Banged in 2 goals in 43 appearances. Dean, if you're listening.
Oh, what a record. Dean, could you.
He's a centre half. He's a centre half, yeah. Yeah, cool. All right.
Dean.
Right. Okay. But yeah, we met JT, and I have to say, John Terry.
Absolute gent.
Anyway.
Absolute gent.
We won't go into that. But I have to say, he is fucking huge. Like, he is like. It's unbelievable how big he is. Like, you only actually do appreciate it when, you know, he had his arm around me, Dean Smith had his arm around me, like having the crack. Like he's big.
I have that photo, so we can clip it into a clip next week, and you'll see that there was no shared affection in that photo.
Yeah. Me and JT.
So that's kind of it. Just want to say that Villa are fucking shit, and I have to say one of the great kind of silver linings of this bet is that I will never, ever, ever watch Villa play football again, because it has been torture the last couple of weeks. They can't string 2 passes to get it.
And any special words for Conor O'Hanlon out there?
Well, our only Villa fan, I text him during the games. I go, "What the fuck's going on?" He goes, "Dean Smith's a moron." And I can tell that he's behind his phone, absolutely distraught. Distraught's not the word. Furious. So. That's it. Yeah, that's it for me and Villa. Unless they're to bang one in the next 5 minutes of this game.
Then they're back. Then Dean Smith.
Might have to come back for a little retake. Might have to shoot the podcast.
I'll actually shit my pants if they score. Like, if it comes down, I just can't trust Arsenal against Brighton. But no, big fan of Villa. Always have been. Always will be. Not entirely true. I hate Villa almost as much as I hate Sheffield Wednesday. Probably on the par.
The last point in that, by the way, is that Leeds have turned into the best team in the league over the last 10 games as well. They're top of the form table.
I think they're going to be able to attract some decent players next year.
I think you should keep it on, O'Keeffe.
Don't worry. There's more to come.
JJ Foxamore.
What's the story?
You were so upset last week that I couldn't even introduce you properly with the JJ Foxamore What's the Story intro.
Yeah.
I was too sympathetic.
Thank you, Sully.
For the circumstances in it. I was looking up some, literature during the week, and I believe what we got from you last week was stage 4 in the grief process, which is denial. So now having had a further week to digest, how do you feel? What are your thoughts? One next year.
Yeah, like it's well, I'm obviously feeling confident about League One. I think we will get automatic. Actually, you know what? It would be unbelievable if we got playoffs in League One, because going to a playoff game is always good. But it's actually interesting because we've like 13 players out of contract, so it's literally going to be like an under 12s team. It's kind of like, all right, guys, we've only got 11 players this season. They are not going to be able to attract. I feel like we're either going to go two ways. We're either going to attract a lot of like eager, younger people who kind of want to make the grade, obviously in League One, and go up to the Championship, or we'll do a Bolton and just go then to League Two.
Yeah, it's a Blackpool.
Would you not just do like what I do in Football Manager and just get a load of loan signings for the under 23 squad of like Championship and Premier League sides, and then just absolutely smash teams?
Yeah,
it's money, Sully. It's money. Like, you know, I was only talking.
Sorry, it's a good thing, Fox. Surely that you are out of contact with all those players. So you don't have those commitments.
Oh yeah, like the likes of Kieran Westwood and like Jordan Rhodes. Jordan Rhodes was Wednesday's most expensive signing for $9 million.
And probably quite expensive on a week-to-week basis, also.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Like he's on $35,000 a week.
Oof.
That's a lot of money for a striker who can't score. Westwood, I'm not too sure, but he would have been on at least 20, 22 maybe.
But you want to keep him. I've always rated Westwood.
No, I do like Westwood, but
what about Bannon?
Yeah, Bannon, I think, fingers crossed Bannon stays. Bannon's always come out like Wednesday gave him an opportunity again. Obviously, he had like Bannon was obviously, he was doing pretty well when he was very young and for Villa, and then he got I think he got done for drink driving a few times and all that. But like he went to Palace. Hey, you're done for drink driving. Come sign for Wednesday.
Yeah.
give you another shot. But he's always come out in interviews. Like Brentford wanted to sign him a few times. Well, Brentford obviously be pretty tasty, but Bannon has pretty openly said that he's happy with his family in Sheffield, and the only way he will leave Sheffield Wednesday if they're like, you need to get off the wage bill, we need to sell you and get some money. So I would love if he stayed there next year, but who knows.
How's your football week, so?
Yeah, not great from United's perspective. The Liverpool game, as I mentioned last week, like with the selection on the Tuesday night, put a lot of pressure on the Thursday night, and you know, one of those flat performances from United. You know, it's just been the same for the last while. Like, as good as they've been at times recently, then they just throw a dud here and there. It was weird. It was weird. United go behind. It'll be okay. They'll put out a couple of stops. United took the lead. It was like, wait a second, this is a different shape of a game to what's been going on. But like, simply put, Liverpool were better throughout. You know, after the first 20 odd minutes, wasn't it? Liverpool were better.
Liverpool are just a better team.
Jota could have had a hat trick in the first 20 minutes.
Who?
Diogo Jota.
Yeah, exactly. Like, as in, like, simply put, better all around. And last night, Fulham game, luckily I was playing golf because it sounded absolutely dreadful, but I did pick up that absolute treat of a goal from Cavani, which was offside.
Well, didn't Bruno after the game admit it was offside?
Yeah, he said he didn't touch it. The ref told him he touched it.
I'm glad FPL.
No, you touched it.
FPL didn't take away my points, because I would have been very annoyed if they give me the points and then taking them away. Because I had Bruno captain as well. But it was some.
So Bruno didn't get to touch.
No,
he said he didn't touch it, and you can see it. United released an angle today. He didn't even come near it.
He didn't touch it. Right, wow. It really annoys me. Right, I was watching that game for the first 20 minutes, and like Gary Neville, like I get it. Like, you know, you've played for Man United, and you know you've a big affiliation for the club and everything like that. But the biggest thing really is that, like, he keeps going on. It's like, you know, this is the Man United, you know, they could play unbelievable. They could be challenging for the Premiership. You're playing Fulham. They're relegated. They've played a second string team. Like, you know, I think anyone can actually like call that out.
But that's what I'm saying, Fox, about the Liverpool game. Like as in, you know, United can like as in Villa like they went down against Villa and they were outstanding for the rest of the game. Like some lovely passes, some lovely moves, and then they just come along and lay an absolute egg against Liverpool. Like as in,
well, like
scored a couple of goals.
I know what you're saying. That's like
performance.
Yeah,
I suppose they're hit and miss. That's the thing.
They're hit and miss, like, and like I was even talking to just about like Arsenal. Like Arsenal are treated like not to bring it away from Man United. Arsenal are treated like a top 4 team, even though they're not a top 4 team. Like, and just with Man United, what I now appreciate about Man United back in the day, it's kind of like, oh, we're playing Ipswich, we'll beat them 9-0. We're playing all the terrible.
This is the thing, right? Like,
you can put them away.
United the last while, like as in like just it's the characters thing, it's a culture thing, it's a characters thing. Like why was Lukaku booted out? Lukaku turns around and scores goals all around. He clearly wasn't fitting in the dressing room.
It's a coach problem. It's a coach problem. Put a good coach in there.
So like Lukaku, it's easy to give no shit. I've said this before. It's easy to give half your effort in the Italian league and get 20 goals. Can't do it in the Premier League.
Well, sorry, just about I mentioned on this podcast before. I think Lukaku is unbelievable. Like I mentioned Lukaku.
Lukaku got 20 goals for Everton, so that's.
I think he will be back in the Premiership at some stage. I think I was laughed at. There was always speculation like.
He can score goals and things like, but it's just a character thing. Look what Bruno has done to that side, just purely by his attitude. Like Ferdinand on his podcast this week was talking about how.
Sorry to interrupt you, Sully. There, I just heard a cheer, so I think that might have been the goal at Selhurst Park.
Oh, or at least I'm following here 90+1. But no, I agree with Sully.
Sorry, Sully, I interrupted you there.
It is an attitude thing, 100%. It's a lazy. They're rich players who don't have to.
First of all, I'm going to back I'm going to back Lukaku here. Okay, I think he was playing for a very, very.
Sorry, I just need to get out some more sparklers.
Okay. I think Sully, I'll just say I like United. I actually do like United. I'm probably the only ones who actually do care for them a little bit. I like they're kind of very English club, but I think Lukaku would have had a tough time with Mourinho just being a scapegoat and all that. Lukaku is a serious player.
Well, hang on.
Look at him for Conte.
Nobody is made a scapegoat like without justification. Like as in, like consider the group, right? Consider the group. You've got a manager plus 4 or 5 coaches, more extended beyond it, but like as in primarily you've got a 20-something man playing squad, right? Like you have to congeal all of those guys together, manage all those different egos. Like there was clearly, I've said it for years, I would love to have been a fly on the wall in United dressing room the last number of years to figure out what it was that was going on. You like the class of 92 and you had all of those guys bringing them through. Like,
I think Alex Ferguson was what was going on.
You the Kino, you the Fergie,
and also the class of 92.
But it was the best group of young players. Like everybody talks about Rennie Muhlenstein talks about Sir Alex, how Sir Alex would let the coaches do what they wanted to do on the training pitch, that he would manage it and truly manage it from a top-down perspective, but he was giving the coaches their reign to go ahead and
if you read Ferguson's book, that changed over time. So initially pre-Rennie Muhlenstein and early Ferguson era, say the 90s era of Ferguson, he was completely hands-on. But
how much better did Brian Kidd get at the time that he was there?
Well, very little, but Ferguson was way more hands-on and the team was way smaller in the Brian Kidd era. But once Carlos Queiroz came in and then Rennie Muhlenstein and all that, then it changed. Ferguson was brilliant. He recognized that. I mean, he's probably the best manager to ever do.
And Sully, I think you could actually do. We could do a podcast episode on Man United in terms of management.
Oh
that. And,
God! Well, I won't be on that one.
Okay,
we'll just
I think that to kind of finish this off, it's like the biggest compliment you can give Ferguson is that he moved with the times.
Yeah.
So did actually Sam 100%. Allardyce, which I've heard, but you'd be quite surprised. I heard stories like Sam Allardyce was like reading into vitamins and all that very early on and getting experts in because he was like, this is what we got to do. So maybe him and Ferguson are good friends. But anyway,
I think we can take a little interlude to discuss the finalization of the €200 that Lenny's going to be sending. Pounds or euro?
Euros.
Oh, really? Send him fucking
30 seconds left
at this stage. Yeah, so 30 seconds left, but if Palace need 2 goals in that 30 seconds, I believe, Steve. Is that correct?
That is correct, Brian.
So how will you be sending me this money? Coins, bank check?
I will be sending it to you in cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Even Lennon isn't
one of those
ATM
shy
these
coins.
days. He's just handing out money the whole time.
It's going to be one of those shy coins.
I will say it's is this the first time taking it? There's been a few times. I don't know if we've recounted the bet where I won $2,000 and Steve won 500 quid. We've been on the same side. It's been very rare that me and Steve have been on the opposite side of bet.
That's true, yeah.
But I am just as happy.
I'm not happy about that Japanese bet.
200 quid as I was with 2,000 quid 10 years ago.
Okay, Brian, I think we've covered the Aston Villa bet. I mean...
Okay, boys, moving on to the hot topic of the week, the Champagne Hooligans Team of the Year. What do we think?
Bullshit.
Well, why, Steve?
Well, the whole thing just fucking stinks, to be honest, because yesterday I was up.
It just stinks.
Yesterday I was up 70%.
Poor oversight is what I would call it. Poor oversight.
Well, there's just something going on because yesterday I was up 70%.
Yeah. It's funny because the person who's controlling the vote seemed to get through to the final.
I have no control of the vote. Sully has equal control. You are more than welcome to be in. I've given you passwords. I don't control the vote. I set it up and I see how it's going. If it's not going my way, I might, send a text.
Tamper with the numbers, yeah.
Set up a load of accounts. You've plenty of time. You have fucking plenty of time, Brian. You're spending all day doing it.
That's not true.
It stinks.
Brian,
it stinks.
No,
how many Instagram profiles do you have right now?
I have 3. My own, I have R1, and I have 1 to do with my dog.
And did all 3 of them vote? Yes, they fucking did.
No,
your dog definitely voted.
No, my dog did not vote. Although I did use the team vote to vote for me, but it didn't make a difference in the end.
It fucking did make a difference, Brian. The numbers are honestly, that is fucking.
Steve, I think you and I are going to have to run off a proper final, to be very honest, because whatever about me putting in 2 Aston Villa players instead of 2 Man City players, Man United
honestly,
disgraceful.
So first of all, I'm going to put in there. I was honestly like a kid before Christmas. When I saw Sully had put Martinez and Grealish, I actually thought my head was going to explode. And I didn't want anyone to spot it because I was like, oh my God, the podcast is on tomorrow. I'm going to absolutely rinse Sully for this, okay? But to be fair, Sully came in, he's like, whatever that. I also have a bone to pick with the organizer.
Well,
yes, I think Brian
I'll take the mantle there if you don't mind, James.
Oh, sorry, Sully, I'll pass on the conscious pass.
First of all, right, it was under absolute duress because I was in clinic all day and getting fucking ats from the OKeeffe. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. So then I was flicking through it.
I'm on O'Keeffe's side there.
I had Melier in goals.
To do this.
I had what?
You had 2 weeks. We'd warned 2 weeks ago that we were doing
bullshit.
This.
No, Brian, that's 2 weeks
in your agenda, mate. Goals, and then I looked up Melier and I was like, geez, he's conceded an awful lot of goals. I can't put in him. And then I was like, holy shit, Martinez conceded so few. And then I was like, oh yeah, I lobbed Martinez in and just didn't look up the rest of it.
Beyond
that, and I will open
the context does not make it any better.
I will open to the floor, but Lenny, you and I are going to have to run off a true final of.
I agree.
Best loser. It's the loser.
And I'll put it very simply. Whatever about my DQ for selecting 2 players, but it is an absolute and utter piss take that the final is made up of 2 guys who didn't have Bruno in their team. Like that is a disqualification.
You know what I really enjoy when you get to the World Cup or the Euros and the 3rd, 4th place playoff, they kind of go, but look, we'll have our own final. You're like, you guys, you have your own final, all right? You go for it, okay? Oh,
listen,
Turkey,
there was something up.
Turkey.
I mean, I don't understand how I could be have 70% of the vote and pretty much the day is over and then fucking an hour later it's fucking turned around. It doesn't make sense.
We talk so much shit in this fucking WhatsApp.
So you asked a lot of questions. You don't hear any answers.
Yeah, go on. Do you want to answer those questions?
Yeah. So the average football fan is an idiot.
No, not that part.
Well, it's leading into the answers that you want to hear, and the average football fan, they don't, they're not working, 3 to 6 p.m. They're going to be on Instagram voting for Steve Lennon, of course. But the intelligent people are at work. And post 6 p.m. those guys get online.
Guy who doesn't.
Those guys get online because they're busy during the day because they're intelligent people with
the three of us. You're telling me, James, because we're working 9 to 5.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know about James Fox, but
software never sleeps. So
So it just turned around. The intelligent football fan got online. The thinking man's team won. If you've Lamptey in your team with 11 fucking games and 2 wins in the entire season, you should be automatically disqualified. Like, it was the worst selection.
And San Maximan plays for about 6 games toward the end of the season, and he's included.
Who?
Brian.
That's not true either. He played at least 20 games this season.
Yeah, but as in, like, it's a recency bias.
No, it was
simply put. Look, if Bruno's not in your side, you should be disqualified.
I know. I have to say, Sully, I did want to put Bruno in, but I do like Luke Shaw mainly because everything he went through, and went through a tough time. I like
exactly the criteria that you're using to select a team of the year. Absolutely, yeah, great.
No, I wanted Bruno on my team.
I have reason for all my players as well. Like, and I don't think the public.
I literally voted for O'Keeffe's team yesterday because I thought it was the weaker of the 2 teams to try and play Lenny in the final.
But then you would have voted for Lenny.
Sully, you were never going to get in the final.
That made no sense.
The idea of the game was to select one player, from one club, and what you did was selected 2 players from Aston Villa. So,
well, listen,
nothing better
James
by winning,
Fox
but by winning by default is even better.
James Fox started canvassing today, but he's a little late to the party. O'Keeffe started canvassing yesterday.
Canvassing. Oh, Brian, it's interesting you say that because quote Brian O'Keeffe.
Yeah.
You go, Fox, canvassing votes? ? Do you not know the size of my family? ? Like
it was
oh
proven
my God.
because last night when I was 77-23 down, I got in touch with the old family. The old family O'Keeffe. And all of a sudden, about an hour or 2 later, I was winning.
You're compromising the integrity of the competition, so it doesn't mean anything.
Who said no? Why was Fox noting? None of you all had the chance today to give out to Fox.
There should be no canvassing. It should just be who are the best teams and let the people decide.
Even with canvassing my family, 2 of my sisters voted for Steve Lennon. So,
can you blame them? Can you? I can't fucking remember the team.
The first team fucking Steve sent me had Dallas in at centre back, a player who's never played at centre back.
Yeah, that's pretty
It's an embarrassment.
The
fact that Steve was winning that vote in the first place was shocking. It was a
Brian, are you
shitting
me? You have Alan San Maxim.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've gone from Steve's team. I'm looking at Sully's team here in front of me now. I can see obviously I picked Martinez in goal. I think he's actually unbelievable. Would have loved to.
I had Medier in goal because I ended up putting Martinez in stupidly, my own mistake. Grealish has to be in there, just how important he's been, and like that. We've obviously paid an awful lot more attention to Villa than we normally and really should have. But Grealish, obviously, it was just so important for them. Bruno non-negotiable, Kane non-negotiable, Diaz is absolutely outstanding.
I think everyone did have Diaz in their team.
It's hilarious, really, the amount of City players that you have to leave out then as a result. Hence, I end up with Lamptey at right back because when you've got Bruno in and you've got Diaz in and you've got
there's not another fucking 10 fucking right backs that you can put in instead of Lamptey who played fucking 11 games.
Well, Brian, you do not understand the game. You can't put in fucking.
You can put in another 10.
You can put in a fucking donkey.
That is the game.
Put in fucking.
Statistically speaking, he was very good for what he had, and that's all I was going. Anyway,
embarrassing.
Cresswell with his.
That should have been your disqualification, not the actual double player.
You should have been disqualified for cheating.
Indeed, he's just been quality every time I've seen him. And absolute, I would absolutely love United to sign Ndidi.
I agree there.
Really would.
I will say, if Sully didn't have Lamptey in his team, I thought his team was the best team. But Lamptey just.
What about the fact that he had two players from the same team? Well, if that's the criteria, then I might stick in.
So 9 out of 11.
Bruno, Luke Shaw. Might stick in Salah, Trent. Might stick in Mount, Mendy. Just do whatever we want then.
Right. No one having Pereira was the surprise that I was the only man. The guy who's played Pereira.
Pereira. Is he? Yeah. Is that a fucking soft drink?
It is. It's Pereira Max. What are you talking about?
Pereira.
I'm not fucking Portuguese or Brazilian. Like I don't.
You don't have to be Portuguese or Brazilian to pronounce his name right.
I'm just going by players that I think will be. To be honest, I have a soft. There's a few players I was kind of like, I want these players to become really good. I'm a big fan of Connor Cody. I've seen interviewed a few times. Also saw him on Soccer AM. I think he's a legend.
It's not the point of the game.
It's not the criteria.
Got his first English cap this year. He probably will be going to the Euros. Did Wolves have a great season? Not a great. Yeah. Coleman, soft spot for Coleman. Diaz, obviously everyone's had Diaz. Ben White, obviously very good.
I like Ben White, but like he can't
beat Man City last night.
Oh, that's the criteria. You win you play one good game, get in the team of the season. That's how it works.
Ben White, really like him. Shaw, I feel lot for sure. Obviously, he's had a tough time. And
Players Player of the Year for United.
Yeah. Kante's obviously a freak. Soft spot for Saka. Maddison, probably a soft spot for him as well. And Jota.
It's James soft spot 11.
This was players you like as opposed to the best 11. Is that it?
Well, it's JJ Foxamore's Premier League 11, and this would be his 11. Very tough.
As opposed to of the season.
Very tough to break down.
Record he's going to get the.
All right, let's finish it up. Like what, Brian? Please tell us the scores. What's the poll?
I mean, I'm less excited now, but I will put on. I'm gonna have to put on the winner's sash.
Oh my gosh! How much? This money is not going into the shared budget, by the way, Brian. This is personal expenses.
We'll all wake up to an invoice. There'll be an invoice from the OKeeffe. It's like, oh my sparklers and my ribbon.
Does the sash say Felicitatio?
It says Felice. I don't know. You tell me.
Oh no, wait. No.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Cumpleaños. So happy birthday, OKeeffe. You've won the Premier League 11 best team. I won 57-43. I'd like to take this trophy for the victory. I'd like to thank my parents for
voting for you, giving me out of fucking guilt or fucking bullying them.
No, just give me these great genes. But
Sully, I'm ready to move on when you're ready to move on.
Oh, are you? Are you ready to move on?
Well, it's boring. It's like a football week every week. Like it's fucking boring.
Oh yeah, it's very boring.
That's actually very small as well. Actually, very small.
To be honest, the 57-47 win was disappointing tonight. Only
47.
That's interesting percentages.
He's mean. He's done it.
I'm not afraid.
He's done the poll himself.
Yeah, no, the 57-43 win is a bit disappointing just because, James Fox's team is something you'd find in a public toilet cubicle written in shit on the wall. But otherwise, I'm very happy. I'll take the W. Next year, hopefully someone else can challenge. Probably not. I do win all, as you know.
I think Harry Kane would be the perfect fit for Man United. And it's all like, oh, Man United can't afford it or they won't be able to pay it. Man United could afford it.
I don't think there's any issue with Man United affording it.
Yeah.
I just think that Man United have probably, and Sully can jump in here, have probably for the first time maybe in the last 5-6 years have pre-planned their summer, hoping to get all their business done early. And Sancho was that person. And then Kane comes on. Then do they go, fuck it, Kane is here, even though we've tried to do something else? Don't know.
Yeah, they can do both. They haven't spent money in years.
I mean, you can.
The wage bill's pretty big, I'd say.
Like they've look at the Sancho situation last year, so drawn out all the year long. I think Harry Kane's been on the United's radar. Obviously, he's been on their radar, but I think he's been probably genuinely considered by United for a while.
Can he risk it? Can he risk going somewhere that he might not win the league?
Well, if you know,
this is the thing. But also, if you sign a player like that, like as in, if United sign him, like it really does elevate them. Like it really and truly does. As much as you hate to admit it, Steve, you probably would admit that as well.
I think he elevates. I think he elevates anyone.
Any
side.
To Chelsea, of course, exactly. It's not exactly a groundbreaking statement, but just as in like that is really and truly like as in. So, how do I feel? United having just signed Cavani on an extension. That was kind of saying they're probably just going to go Sancho and a centre half, and that will be probably the expectation. How, is it going to be young guys again? I just think you can't miss these two players. So it's like Haaland or Kane. My attitude on it is Kane is so much more likely as a United, so much more United type signing. I think it's Barcelona, Real Madrid being snookered financially that gives the Premier League sides more hope with Haaland, because typically Haaland goes to one of the two of them, right? In our football lives, Haaland goes to one of those two clubs. They're so snookered by financially. Can they figure out a way of getting it done? I wouldn't be surprised to see them pull it off some which way, but I
think Haaland stays. Haaland stays for another year at Dortmund.
Well, if Kane is going to cost the same as Haaland, pretty much, because they're going to be 125, 150 mil, both of them, I would guess, then you obviously go for Haaland.
That's exactly the point.
If someone's going to sign Kane, if someone's got the money to sign Kane, then you're going to go Haaland.
I think
is Haaland definitely going to leave this year, though?
No, I don't think
so. It's interesting to hear both of you, Steve say it, you question it, Fox. I mean, all the chat is that he is, but that's exactly what I was trying to get to, Brian, was like, if you're signing Kane, why wouldn't you sign Haaland? Like, what is it, 4 or 5 years younger and absolutely a higher ceiling?
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that. Like, Kane is guaranteed Premier League goals, England captain.
Haaland is
lots
guaranteed
of stuff behind it.
Anywhere you like.
But also, our Bruce,
put any money you like on it. Haaland will win.
Kane becomes the captain of any club he goes to. Probably he becomes United captain.
I actually think he would be captain of Man United. He would, yeah. But sorry, Sully, I'm also thinking like, are Borussia Dortmund playing the game? Like, they're like, oh, no one's leaving, and then they have an agreement with like the likes of Sancho. It's like, look, stay for another season and then do whatever you want.
But I think they'll sell Sancho. Sell him if they can this summer, because next summer the release goes 66 million, which 100 clubs will be in for. So if they can sell him this year, they should, and I assume they would, because they get over 100
It's the same thing for Haaland though as well. Like, it's like, oh look, well,
no, that's what I'm talking about Haaland.
No, Haaland has Sancho for next season. So
okay.
That's why the expectation was that he would be sold this year. I mean, he could sit tight and then get an absolutely like ridiculous contract, like as in blow every other contract out of the water, like as in. All right, boys, is it time for our betting corner?
No. I will start because I lost last week, but that's just my first loss. So starting at 1, I believe it is 3 to end up in a awful situation of having to do a TikTok video. I had Atletico Bilbao to beat Real Madrid. Watched the game. Actually, it was actually very exciting watching Spanish football last weekend. Well, exciting until fucking Real Madrid scored, and then I wasn't that excited because my bet was dust. But yeah, so that was unlucky, I would say. But well, it was both. It was both. So moving on, I picked out 2 bets this week, and ordinarily I would go with the first one because that's the one that I really like. But because of the whole TikTok sort of scenario hanging over my head, I'm just not happy with it.
Steve, you've never laid up in your life. I have to say golf.
Well, the next one's not a layup either.
Next one's not a
layup either. So I'm going to go with the second one. Actually, I won't lay up because I don't need to lay up now. It's next week I can lay up. And actually, we're out of games, so it doesn't matter. So I can't get there.
Well, it'll follow on to the
next season.
So I'm going to take Everton to beat Man City away from home at 15-2.
Ooh.
Everton to beat Man City.
at 15-2 away from home. Everton unbelievable away from home. Man City foot off the gas, lost to Brighton at home. Going to be playing a second string team. Not going to give a fuck about the game.
Is the
where's the Champions League?
I'll give you 10-1 and lay you $1,000 to £100 on that.
Oh yeah, do it, Steve. Do it.
That's not what the point of what I'm trying to do here, Brian. I'm trying to just bet on one bet.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going for.
I'm very disappointed we got rid of vetoes, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, wait, yeah, sorry. 1 sec. No, I forgot. Yeah, there's no way we can put that in an accumulator. 15-2.
It'll get us.
My only thing is that you're playing with your
James enjoys the large odds.
Everton haven't won a game in about 3 months.
They're unbelievable away from home, and this is honestly
absolutely not. I watched
Steve.
Let me check.
I watched them against Villa away from home, and
let me check it now.
Get it from one player to the other.
Steve, winning is a habit. Like Man City will definitely want to win this game going into Champions League final. Like that's the only thing I'm thinking.
They lost to Brighton last week night. They're fucking.
Yeah, I know they're on the piss all fucking weekend. Like,
yeah, I would have thought that was.
What's the other bet? No, I'm not having it. What's the other bet?
Well, there are no vetoes, but I did pick a second bet because I anticipated Brian being a fucking prick.
Well, I can't.
Brighton away to Arsenal at 17-5.
Yeah, I'll take that. Definitely. I don't like. Yeah,
I'll put money on the Everton one myself, and I might make my 200 quid back there, and that would be nice for me.
Well, I was laying you 10-1, but anyway.
JJ Foxamore.
We're going to stick with the Championship playoffs. How did they get on last week? I actually backed West Ham to win 1-0, 2-0, or 2-1. They drew 1-1. Probably should have gone for the draw, but anyway.
That was the one that lost us, I believe. That was the
well,
my one lost as well, but that was first.
Real Madrid lost as well. So, and West Brom game lost. So there's 3 losses. So Brian, which bet was you?
The one that
fucked us off. It was
the camel that broke the straws.
That was you, Brian. That was you, Brian.
It was the camel that broke the straws.
Yeah, camels breaking straws back.
So I'm actually going to back this week. Swansea won 1-0 2 nights ago yesterday evening against Barnsley. They're home in Swansea this Saturday, and they're at 17-10.
So do Swansea only need a draw at home to progress?
Yes.
And you are backing them to win?
Yes.
I hate it.
Well,
this
Brian,
is
we
what
hate you.
When
well,
we
like
backed,
you know,
this is what happened when we backed Roma in the UEFA semi-final or whatever they're in.
Well, like I wouldn't back that. Like it's a big playoffs. It's like Swansea are going to go out to win. I've seen Swansea play a lot this season. Like they're decent, and they will be able to win.
So yeah, I will say I hate Fox's bet. My bet this week. So yeah, I had West Brom Liverpool draw last week. I mean, even with Alisson scoring, I was fucked over by VAR.
And P.S. Anyone who hasn't seen it should probably watch the Brazilian commentator do that Alisson goal.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Good stuff.
Send that in.
Good stuff.
This week, Leicester are at home to Spurs and they're even money, which is crazy. So Spurs have nothing to play for. Leicester have to win. Leicester at home. Spurs just lost tonight to Villa. Even money is I think free money there. Leicester to beat Spurs, even money.
Fine.
Yeah, good bet. I like it. And myself, I went 2 for 2 last week with Southampton and Newcastle.
Yeah. Got us off to a good start. First time in 7 weeks.
Well, yeah, it's funny how we still get the gags in, even though it was 2 for 2.
I said it. Got it also. I was supporting.
But I'm gonna go stick with Real Newcastle, because they're great value to beat Fulham this week at 21-10.
Yeah,
I just think that's
nice.
Fantastic value, actually. Like Fulham.
Okay, so we got. I like that. So we got Newcastle, we got Leicester, we got Swansea, and we got Brighton.
And what is the multiplier?
Does anybody have one?
My second bet was on the Newcastle Fulham game, so I can't give it.
Maybe go with one of the playoff games.
I think we've already got a loser from the playoff games.
ended. But the only other thing there is Burnley to beat Sheffield United.
Don't like that. Sheffield United are playing well. Burnley.
No, sorry. We're back in Southampton away to West Ham. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more on Sheffield United are terrible. I watched them tonight.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And Burnley are good.
Yeah, Burnley can definitely get some goals.
I think Burnley are safer there. It is shorter, but it is safer.
Burnley are 29-20 here.
I much prefer that bet. I know it's shorter, but definitely
Yeah, go for the Burnley, I think.
Yeah, Burnley.
I think Southampton could very well win. I picked it in the sweepstakes, but it could it could be any. I would say all three results there are equal likelihood.
Okay, we're looking at a €4,748 return.
It's time for the quiz.
So we'll do a little recap. The quiz scores at the moment. Steve is on 7. Sully is on 3. And James Fox is on 2. So very tight down the bottom end of the quiz. I will say that Sully has given up 2 quizzes for the double or nothing. And if he had taken those, it would be 5 for Steve, 5 for Sully, 2 for Fox. So that is an interesting, but like Sully, as he says, he swings for the dishes. And I do appreciate that.
I regret nothing.
So do I. I very much appreciate that.
I regret nothing.
This week, it is the Premier League manager quiz. And so we're down to 12 questions. We have, I'll just briefly go through the rules for this quiz and for most quizzes. But for this quiz, number 1, caretaker managers do not count for this quiz, for this Premier League quiz.
Okay.
Number 2, 1 answer per player before free-for-all. Number 3, double or nothing will be offered to the winner of the quiz. And number 4, a TikTok dance forfeit for anyone that gets 0 answers. So if we end up in a tiebreaker after 12 questions, there will be a tiebreaker penalty shootout quiz situation before the winner of the tiebreaker is offered a double or nothing. Very, very clear. More clear, more clear
as mud.
Are we ready to get going?
Yes.
Are we excited?
No.
A little bit nervous.
I'm very nervous for Sully, funnily enough. I think this is a hard quiz. When I was coming up with the answers, I was like, holy shit, I wouldn't have got that, which is.
Can I just get one clarification? Yeah. Can I just get one clarification, Quizmaster?
Yes.
If someone was to go 0 from 12 in the main event, and then it went up for double or quits, and they won that presumably gets them off the pot.
It gets them off the TikTok dance 100%. Yeah.
Yes.
And they get. You win the quiz. You can't do it. You have to do it.
Yeah.
I do hope that if someone goes 0 for 12, they do not get the answer, because I want both the drama of the double or nothing and the drama of a TikTok.
Yeah. So it would be the great escape. So it would certainly be a reasonable outcome, I think.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed. Question 1. Which manager was in charge of Aston Villa after Martin O'Neill and before Alex McLeish in 2010-2011?
That is fucking impossible.
Don Gregory.
No. Wow, your years are way off.
Sorry, but after Martin O'Neill and before.
Yeah, Fox, you're out. So after Martin O'Neill, who had a good stint, and before Alex McLeish,
I actually know it now.
Ago, he was in charge for.
No.
Yeah,
he was giving us fucking quick.
Lambert, Paul Lambert.
No, that is incorrect. Steve, I'll give you 5 seconds for a guess before I go free for all.
The fucking lad with red hair. What's his face? Fucking. Oh, that's McLeish, is it? Gary Mason.
No.
I don't think he made it.
Definitely didn't manage Aston Villa. Free for all.
David O'Leary.
No. He managed basically the full 2010-2011 season. Martin O'Neill left after 2.
Steve Staunton.
No. And He managed the rest of the season before, I think, retiring from management. Definitely.
I'm going to put the over/under for winning this quiz on 0.5.
No. It'll definitely win that.
Glenn Roeder.
No.
Ron Atkinson.
No.
Um,
I'll admit I wouldn't have gotten this question. It's a hard question, but it's a Premier League manager you've heard of.
Roy Hodgson
has managed other Premier League teams.
He retired.
The Leeds team. I think he's retired. He's definitely retired now. I think he retired.
Roy Evans.
No. Villa. Come on.
I can't do it. Gerard Houllier.
Yes, Steve.
Oh, he's off the mark. Fuck yes.
Good get. It's a good get.
It is a
great get. Celebrate the win. Celebrate the win.
266 days in charge of Villa. And Gerard Houllier.
Fuck, that's impressive.
Question 2. I will say
now for Steve. Pressure off. It's going to be so much easier.
Who was the manager of Cardiff City who got them to the League Cup final in 2012 and then got them promoted to the Premier League in 2013?
Malik Mackay.
Yes, James.
Championship, baby.
I did say pre-quiz that Sully was the one in trouble.
Only 10 questions left.
So Sully, gangster rap or techno dance?
No. Me and Brian will have a perfect little dance for Sully to be doing.
Oh yeah. So question 3: Roman Abramovich has had 11
because of all the caretakers.
11 full-time managers during his Chelsea reign, with Claudio Ranieri his first. But who was the last full-time manager sacked before Ranieri was hired under the Ken Bates regime?
Oh, that's a very good question, Brian. I like that.
It's a couple of names.
Lenny hasn't a clue.
It's a home question. Steve hasn't got a home question about
Glenn Hoddle.
I was about to say Glenn Hoddle.
It's not Glenn Hoddle.
Good. I wasn't about to say Glenn Hoddle. Vialli.
It was Vialli, Steve. Well done. Yeah.
Thank you, James.
Vialli. Question 4. Very good, very recent. Who was the Crystal Palace boss before Roy Hodgson?
Ron de Boer.
No.
Just like to say this quiz is bullshit.
I'll give 5 seconds for a guess before I bring Fox back in.
Hodgson is the longest serving Premier League manager, isn't he?
Yes. No, he's not.
So who was what? What was the question?
Who was the Crystal Palace boss before Roy Hodgson, who was retiring? 3, 2.
No.
Fucking Phil Brown.
Frank de Boer.
Yes, Fox.
I said it so wrong. I thought I gave it away.
I could see Fox on the screen. He was like, I knew that he knew it.
I literally had a conversation with Eddie the Ed about Frank de Boer, like honestly around an hour ago. Like, so anyway, I was fucking, if I'd lost that, the laptop would have been fucking over the fence. It would have been fucking out of here.
And question 5. We're a third of the way through the quiz. Sully still having to get one. Do you have a dance in mind, Sul? Well, the rest of us will decide. Yes. Question 5. Who took over Everton after David Moyes left for Man United?
I know him, but I don't know his name.
Not him. That was a bit later.
Fucking hell.
I will say I don't have any hints on this, so we'll have to pass if we don't get.
Big Dunk.
It was not Big Dunk. He was a caretaker manager later, much later, but not back then.
I can't remember his name. I'll be annoyed if that is the answer.
The fucking.
Are we
a free for all?
Right.
Arteta.
Right. No, you're right, Sully.
So that's everyone.
No, Fox hasn't.
I'm not going to remember his name, so
I can't remember the guy's name, and I'm not sure it's him either. It's the Portuguese guy.
2 seconds. No.
What was his name?
The answer is Roberto Martinez. You're thinking of Marco Silva.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Marco Silva. I was thinking Silva as well.
I was thinking Silva.
Jesus, Roberto Martinez should have been got.
Yeah, it should have been got.
That's actually who I was thinking of.
I actually wasn't thinking of him at all. I was thinking the other dude.
This is when I was looking at it, I was like, these are so obvious when you see the answer. But
yeah.
I'd be fucked in this quiz.
These managers are so much harder than players.
Yeah. And to that end, like the Roy Hodgson question, who was the manager of Leicester City before Brendan Rodgers took over?
Ranieri.
No.
Oh, come on. You've got to be kidding me.
Craig Shakespeare.
No.
Oh, fuck. I thought I had it there.
Yeah, closer than Ranieri. Steve was miles away.
Craig Shakespeare is actually, he's coaching some club now at the moment. I think he's at Villa.
Yeah, he is at Villa. I'll get it with the clue.
I can only think of one name, and I know it's not him.
He brought in Harvey Barnes.
I have the right profile, but I just can't fucking find him.
Okay, so the clue is
Adkins.
No. So the clue is he has also managed another Premier League club, bottom half club.
Oh, this is annoying.
Which
fucking one of those Spanish guys.
I'm not going to say anything, but no.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
The answer.
It's the French guy. What's his face?
What do you say?
No, don't know.
The answer is Claude Puel.
That's fucking what I was going to say.
No, I don't think I would have got that.
So forgettable. Like Southampton and Leicester. So forgettable.
What are the scores now, and how far are we progressed through the quiz?
We're now halfway through the quiz. Steve is on 2, Fox is on 2, Sully is on TikTok. Question 7. The Abu Dhabi group have had 4 full-time managers since they bought the club in 2008. Man City, that being. But who was the last manager sacked under the short-lived Thaksin Shinawatra era?
Mark Hughes.
No.
Mancini?
No.
Pellegrini?
No. Free for all.
Oh, come on.
You mentioned 3 managers that were under the Abu Dhabi regime.
Okay, so we're going back further.
Joe Royle.
I was about to say Joe Royle. I was about to say Joe Royle.
1996. When did the boys take over? Did they?
10 seconds.
This guy signed
Stuart Pearce.
No.
Oh, that was a good
I thought I had it there.
Signed like
it was a very good
Robinho and fucking.
He might have been the manager before this one, Fox.
Before this one.
Yeah, before this one, Stuart Pearce. I think. I'm not 100% sure.
Give us another 15 seconds, Brian. You're going too quick there. All I can think of is Joe Royle.
Fucking it's Stuart Pearce.
It's not Stuart Pearce.
Are you sure it's not Stuart Pearce?
Yeah.
Sure. It's not Stuart Pearce. So Thaksin Shinawatra is only in charge for a year at Man City, I think.
What year was it?
The club was bought in 2008 from Thaksin, so 2007 to 2008.
Sven-Goran Eriksson.
Yes, JJ.
Yeah. You could have popped an Ulrika Johnson in there, but once the assets are frozen in Thailand, it's got to be Sven. It's got to be Sven. I'm delighted with that.
Yeah, it's good again. And Fox is now taking the lead in the quiz. So, question 8: who was the manager of Sunderland when they were last relegated from the Premier League in 2017?
Roy Keane.
No.
Sorry, Fox said that, so I don't count there.
I've done this. This has come up before, and I've disqualified both people who gave the answer at the same time. When they're last relegated from the Premier League in 2017, I'm pretty sure Roy Keane was like 2011 or something like that. So way.
I was answering before I heard.
Way earlier, way later. Sorry, they were relegated in 2017, were they?
So what's the question again?
Relegated. Sunderland were relegated from the Premier League in 2017. Who was the manager when they were relegated?
Right, I think I got it.
I would not have thought Sunderland were
Bill Brown
recently.
No. Free for all.
Gus Poyet.
No.
Paulo Di Canio.
No.
Di Matteo.
No.
Niall Quinn.
No. Way later than your guesses. Way.
Yeah.
They're all like early 20s.
Adkins.
Answers. No.
Dean Whitehead.
They're all good answers, but no.
I don't think he's even manager.
Kevin Phillips.
No. Established, well-known manager.
Hanson.
Steve Bruce.
No, I didn't hear Sully.
No, I was fucking saying the Southampton lad.
Alan Pardew.
No.
Oh, that's a great guess.
Good guess.
Sam Allardyce.
Never managed. No. Sam Allardyce is a better guess because he actually managed.
He hasn't got relegated. Like, that's the whole big thing, him not getting relegated. 2017.
Yeah.
He's definitely one of those off-the-shelf managers, isn't he?
Stop giving them hints.
Martin O'Neill.
No.
Oh, that was a great guess, Fox.
I'm really worried.
Mick McCarthy.
No, 5 seconds.
I'm just going to say it.
Alan Kirby.
These rules were amended unilaterally.
No, they
not
weren't
involved in them.
Sully, don't give in at this stage.
Don't be getting in. This is Quitters talk. The answer is David Moyes.
Oh, I wouldn't have got that. No, wouldn't have got that.
Yeah, David Moyes.
Sure, this wasn't a championship manager game that you played, because I can't remember David Moyes ever turning out for Sunderland. Like,
it was after the Spanish gig, I think, when he went to
Sociedad.
Yeah. Post United, Sociedad, and straight into Sunderland. I think I could be wrong there. So we have 4 questions left, Sully, but I will not have the integrity of the TikTok dance being brought into question. It was discussed previously. It was also discussed in a podcast meeting on Monday. So, and it was agreed to. But who managed Tottenham before Mauricio Pochettino?
Oh my God!
Redknapp.
No, you're right.
Oh, fucking hell. Let me in.
No. 5 seconds for guesses for Stephen Fox. Pochettino.
3, 2, 1.
Hazard. No. Atkins.
VS Boas.
No, you're right. No, you're not out.
Oh, you're so sure.
Come on, Tottenham have had 100 managers. You must be able to get one that actually managed them, Steve.
Oh, sorry.
No, just Sully, you're not out. You can still guess.
Because it's free for all, isn't it?
It's free for all.
Christian Gross.
No. I mean, that's 92 or something. It's not even Christian Gross. It's Ozzy Ardiles. What am I talking about?
It's Christian Gross as well.
Yeah, before their last manager, like before Mourinho was Pochettino, their last manager before that, they've had thousands of managers. We're talking.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
5 years ago, max.
I don't know this.
Maybe 6 or 7 years ago.
That's a cool question, Brian.
So it was after VS Boas.
Yes, it must have been. Yeah.
Fuck.
Sam Allardyce.
No. Never managed Tottenham.
Yeah, Mick McCarthy.
yeah.
Pardew.
No, never managed Tottenham. There's so many, like, so many.
I think of one Tottenham manager.
Guesses, like Martin Yall, Mwande
Gus Poyet.
No, never managed.
Stop naming the other ones.
Martin Yall.
No. I'll give you another 5 seconds.
We get a clue on this one?
No.
I do.
This is fucking ridiculous. I'm annoyed about this.
I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue.
Klinsmann.
No.
Oh, not a bad show then, actually.
It's a terrible show.
20 years.
We're talking about mid 2010s. Klinsmann was 90s.
Ben Goran Eriksson.
No, never managed Tottenham.
Southgate.
No, never managed Tottenham.
Jesus, I'm annoyed about this now.
Yeah, like you're all gonna shoot yourself. Yeah. Like he's forgettable, but like
Martinez.
Who?
Martinez.
No, never mind.
Capello.
Martino.
No, never mind. Tottenham. No, never mind. Tottenham. The answer is Tim Sherwood.
Oh my God. That is so poor. That is so poor.
Yeah, you should have got that.
And he's always on TV looking for a job on Soccer Saturday as well. Like he's like,
yeah. You still have 3 questions left. So the scores are 3 for Fox, 2 for Steve, TikTok for Slow. Question 10: which manager was sacked this season by West Brom before Sam Allardyce took over?
Oh fuck me.
Who?
Gus Poyet?
No.
Village.
Yes, Fox.
Fuck. God, I was gonna go crazy. It was almost a Shaqiri moment there, along with a Pookie moment there for a sec. But
Gus Poyet and Slaven Bilic are the same fucking person, basically.
Well,
no, they're not, Steve. No.
2 questions left. So, but question 11: this is David Moyes' second spell at West Ham, but who was the only manager they had between his 2 appointments?
Pellegrini.
Yes, Fox.
Bring him out.
It's squeaky bum. He looks sick. He looks sick.
Fox just doesn't have to put it up for the takeaway as well, so it could just be done.
Yeah.
No, he does actually, because he's already bottled it once.
Yeah, he's already had one.
Oh, right.
Fox does have to put it up. But question 12: not including interim managers, and there will be free for all here, so this is absolutely within everyone's wheelhouse. Not including interim managers, which club has had the most Premier League managers?
Chelsea.
No.
Obvious, Brian.
Spurs.
No.
West Brom.
No.
Whoa.
You're out.
Yeah.
You said it was a fucking free for all.
No, it's free for all at stage. There will be a free for all, I said. Fox, you have a guess before
it's free for all every time.
I mean, it's free information for James.
Newcastle.
No, free for all.
West Ham.
No.
West Brom.
No. Sully, I would be throwing out teams right, left, and centre.
Liverpool.
No.
City.
No.
Fulham.
No.
Sully's tongue-tied. You can't think
I'm so shocked that Sully's
Villa.
Wolves.
No.
Everton.
No.
United.
What did you say, Steve?
Leeds.
No.
What did I say? I said Villa.
Liverpool. Leicester.
No.
Sheffield United. Sheffield Wednesday. Fucking West Ham. West Brom. Arsenal.
West Brom. Everton. West Brom.
No.
Wolves. Fulham.
No.
Southampton.
Yes, Steve.
Yes.
Oh, Sully. I am devastated. My tiebreaker doesn't come to pass, which was
he doesn't look very happy, does he?
Well, he can still get the double or nothing. And it's an easy. The double or nothing is without doubt the easiest question of the quiz. Let's say the tiebreaker was
I swear to God, if any of you answered before me.
What's the score?
The scores. Sorry, James Fox won the quiz.
Yeah.
But so James, you are forced because you have previously decided not to give up a quiz.
Well, hang on, that doesn't make any sense. So what?
No, I
can't take my points.
Say last week,
I can't take my points and Sully do his dance. I think that'd be a win-win.
It would.
By the way, of course I can pick it. If I want to take the W, which I am going to take the W,
you can take the W once. But
no, you can't just make up rules as we go,
Well, no, I did. I said it last week or the week before. And
so hang on, it's so if any of you win, it doesn't matter. We're just going to go to the tiebreaker anyway. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
You get a chance for 2. It's 2 versus 0. Oh,
well, do I have a fucking choice?
No, I don't think so.
No, you don't have a choice.
Particularly this week. You can argue that point next week.
So, just to be very clear, if Sully does not get this question right, he'll be dancing on a video coming soon to your phone. The double or nothing is at Arsenal. Who was Arsene Wenger's immediate replacement?
Pat Rice.
No.
Definitely not Pat Rice, Fox.
Oh, wow. The funny thing is, this is probably one of the easiest quizzes once you heard the answers.
It's not like, as in, like, players are fucking easy. The managers is way, way, way harder. To change from managers down to 12 questions as well.
I would just like to
Juan
say,
Ramos. No,
tough shit.
Emery?
Yes, Steve.
Who is it? Emery.
Unai Emery.
I can't believe it was Emery. I was like,
it's just so stupid. Like,
and for the third time, that it has gone for double or nothing. Steve Lennon has
well, like, hang on, I didn't want to give up the double or nothing. Like, so
that is besides the point, really.
It was.
I beat him in the quiz. I beat him in a number of quizzes, but then anyway.
Yeah. So Steve Lennon takes down the 1 pointer because it was stolen. He is now on 8 for the season.
That's fucking. But hang on. But Steve shouldn't get a point because, well, hang on. I've just made a new rule. Even if you win the tiebreak, you don't get a point.
Not new rule. Legacy.
I feel like we're really missing the point here.
Well, I'm all about winning, and to be honest, I won the quiz, and then I had a choice whether or not if I wanted to keep the points or play for 2.
So we have 7 days to do your TikTok ad, Sully, I believe is a reasonable time frame.
Yeah, an absolute shit show of a fucking quiz where it's complete and change to fucking from players to managers.
Yeah, very, very fair quiz.
Very fair quiz, Brian. As always, you've done an absolutely outstanding job.
James Fox got five questions right. So I mean,
I didn't get a fucking point.
When you get 0 and James Fox got 5.
All right, boys, and that's all we have time for. Thanks a million for your company. I look forward to dancing. Thanks for your company. That was a blast.
What a pleasure.